So WWE, we put good faith in you. We opened our fucking mouths and we're like, things are going good. Shit's changing. This is looking to be on the up and up. And then this past week happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's horrible.
No.
I'm not calling the end of the world like everybody else is, apparently. What I'm saying is it was weird.
Yeah, it was really odd.
It was bizarre. And I'm not even going to point out the fact that Triple H came out and announced the new NXT. Because I know a lot of people were like, oh, I took the surprise out of it. Get the fuck up, man. Maybe for people that know them, but the majority of the people needed an intro. Let's face it. A lot of the reason new characters come in and get dropped immediately is because nobody knows who the fuck they are. You know, only hardcore wrestling fans watch NXT. Everybody else there in the audience and in TV land, they're kind of like mainstream wrestling fans, you know. For the majority of them. So they need a little introduction. Was this the best way to do it? Possibly not, but it went a long way in setting like an expectation for them at the very least. And if you want proof of this, just look at what's happened with EC3. He didn't get an introduction, and the shit that he did get is like, what is that? He didn't even talk. Now I wonder what's going to happen to him now.
Yeah.
Now that you got 10,000 other people. So, anyway, if you don't know already, 1 billion people from NXT came up. The top talent, which begs the question, what the hell is going to happen with NXT? We'll see. Because those were the storylines, basically, around them, pretty much, with a few exceptions. So, we'll see what the hell happens. We can't judge yet until we see it completely. But we're judging based on this past week, and what the flip. First of all, worst crowd of all time.
Yeah, it was terrible.
If you ever want to kill someone immediately, a shit crowd is the way to go.
Specifically on Raw.
Who was your favorite of the... Yes, the Raw one was the worst. No reactions to anything, basically. Who was your favorite of the 4 that came in? Who do you think made the best impression? Let me put it that way.
Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet.
It's not even close.
Ricochet for damn sure made the best impression. I'd say second, Alistair. Was the best.
Yeah, I think
Champs and old fucking Johnny Gargano. Well, I mean, they beat Revival.
So that's the thing.
But it's not that it was a bad match. It was just like, it was kind of like a thing that happened.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think it kind of felt like they knew the Raw thing went wrong, so they brought him over to SmackDown to try it again.
They had to have known.
And thankfully, it went better. I think they had better,
considerably better.
Yeah, so that's good. Like the Aleister Black match on SmackDown was pretty good.
Here's the thing, man.
And Ciampa almost broke his knee, so that was the thing.
Not this Raw, but the Raw before. Not this past Raw, but the Raw before it. I was watching that, and you watched the shorter version. I watched the long version. And I was like, there is so much shit that they just waste time on. People talking about nonsense that doesn't need to be talked about. Ads for other shit that they got going on. Recaps. Nonsense that does not need to be on screen. They could easily get an hour out of all that shit that they put in there, out of the 3. The problem is that they have too many characters, and now they're bringing up more characters. And they started course correcting by actually giving these characters time, but now they've introduced more characters.
I don't know. Yeah, it's such a weird thing.
Use your time wisely. You have 3 hours, and you waste about an hour of that on nonsense.
Yeah.
Use your time wisely, man. That's a big fucking issue. Or move people down to NXT, or God forbid, just make NXT its own thing.
It kind of... I don't know if that's what they're doing. Because, I mean, Ciampa and Gargano still have their titles. So they're still in NXT.
Well, we can't speculate on that. I'm just saying... What I'm saying is use your time wisely. You have an hour's worth of time.
Yeah.
So you can at least put something in there of substance instead of wasting that time. So that way, at least, fine, you brought these new guys up, but you still got this hour of wasted-ass time talking heads and dumbass ads and recaps that don't need to be there. Use it wisely. Instead, we have to sit through that garbage nonsense. Oh, man, let's wait for this next match. How about shorten the entrances a bit?
Yeah, no shit.
I get it that that's part of what gets you excited for the match, but do they need to be 70 hours long? If there's more than one person in a match, 6-person match, do we need an entrance for every single person? Bring them out all at once, a combo entrance or something. There's plenty of time to fit a lot of people into these stories. But now we got old Ty Dillinger leaving, shit like that. Although that might be a work too.
No, I find it hard. Left.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's kind of strange to just let him go, considering what's in the horizon.
Not really.
Well, no. Think about it though. It's WWE, dude. They're anal about shit like that.
Yeah, I just think maybe they didn't see anything in Ty. And then you had that other guy that kept getting injured. Maybe they saw that as a problem. T.J. Perkins is the weird one. They just let him go.
It's weird that they would do that. Like it's like an open invitation to we'll take our shit and then rub it in our face.
Yeah,
it's weird in that regard.
But I think maybe it's because they are calling people up and they are signing new people on NXT. They're just like, we have to get rid of people.
Here's the thing, man. They're hoarding all this talent. But
that's all it is, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they're not making use of that talent.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like, look what they did with freaking the Hardys. They signed them and they did nothing with them.
Yep. All because they want to be the ones in control. Well, okay, look. You have the solution right in front of your face. One, and I know that I'm not that any wrestler in the profession will be listening to us, but they make a big stink about people like Dave Meltzer, which I get. I hate Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he thinks he knows everything. No, I get it. Trust me. We know a third, maybe, that. We know an eighth of what they got going on behind the curtains.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shit we hear as rumors is exactly what they want us to hear.
Yeah.
We don't know jack shit, but what we do know is what the product is right in front of us. And I see an hour still wasted, even though they've been improving Raw and shit like that, on Raw, of just nonsense drivel that they can actually fit people into. More importantly, I see NXT has gone beyond the boundaries of being a developmental promotion. It's its own thing now. It's a much more serious affair. It's for fans that are like hardcore about that shit.
Yeah, it's people who care about wrestling, basically.
Yes. That should be its own thing. And just keep it there. And if somebody on the Raw main roster belongs more in a serious product, then send them to NXT.
Yeah.
And if somebody in NXT belongs in a less serious product, send them. Fine. But don't make it... NXT needs to stop being developmental, period.
Yeah, the fact that it's looked at as like if someone in the main roster goes down is looked at as a demotion. Yeah. I think they're trying to change that, and I hope that's what they're doing.
They need to.
Yeah.
Because they got too much fucking talent and they're not doing shit with them.
Yeah.
At times, And I get it now. You can tell that they're trying to give more time to people and all that shit. But when you still waste about an hour's worth of 3 hours, like, that's a problem. SmackDown makes better use of their time. And even then, you could still trim shit. Fit something else in there. It was weird. But anyway, getting back to this week's nonsense, I think the fact that these 4 debuted overshadowed one of the biggest flaws, and that is Heavy Machinery.
I didn't even see this.
You didn't see this, but boy, how did I? And the people that saw it, of course, were like, "What was that?" But it got overshadowed by the bigger news. This is a thing, right? Heavy Machinery was great in NXT, and they came in to like a flat line in the main roster because this is an old school feeling group.
Yeah, they're
corny. But they decided to cornball it even more up. They reduced them to their names are now just Otis and Tuck.
Yeah.
And I guess they're like doing a bushwhacker thing now. They're just reduced to Otis to grunts and Tucky. That's all he does now. And I don't get it. I don't blame the flatline response.
It's kind of like they took what made them amusing, but then turned it up so high that it's just like, what is this?
Yeah, it's kind of like a turnoff. Like,
yeah.
We love Otis. Yeah, we did a whole video about it. We love Otis and Tuck. They're great. The main roster, it's been like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't understand what this is or how it's supposed to be cool or entertaining.
It's weird, man. It seems like they kind of don't know what to do with those not the current ones, but the previous call-ups.
Yeah. And, of course, we have the Lacey thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time she came down, I get it, per her character. Just keep on doing it, though.
Yeah.
And then they did that Lacey and Heavy Machinery bit where she parades down the ramp, goes up, and then the Heavy Machinery bushwhacks her way down and up and around her like fucking the 7 dwarves and shit. And she apparently is pleased by their antics. And then they cut to commercial, and you're like, what was that? Why did that happen, man?
Yeah,
I
so
don't
odd.
get, and I love Lacey Evans too. Do I think she was ready to go the main roster wrestling wise? No, but I think she was could be like an Elias figure where she would work on the main roster much more concretely than she did in NXT. But not anymore, maybe, because what the fuck was that? And of course, people bitched about the whole Asuka being kind of I can't bitch about it because I get it. The main focus right now is Becky, Charlotte, and all that jazz. Her. It's not on her. I don't really blame the writers for they have to make time for a lot of people now. And then that's their fault because they're shoving so many people into this shit.
Yeah.
But, and I know this didn't kind of tickle your pickle. The whole, she had a match this past SmackDown and she lost to Mandy. However, I kind of, I don't know if ultimately you agree with me or not, but I see the sense in it. She needs something to do.
I get what they were doing. Like it was like a dirty win, basically. It's just, I guess, because they have been making her look like a moron so much. You know what I mean? It's just that was what was like another one where she looks like a moron. But yeah, I mean, I get what they're doing. They're giving her something to do.
I think the intention was good, and yes, she does need something to do, and there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Don't bitch about it when you get it. Which, by the way, I'll get to that right now. Bitching about it when you get it, I'll get to that right now. But they need her to do something. I think the real problem was in how slow the reaction was.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, come on, man. Like, I get it if she would have been immediately distracted and then hit. Yeah, but then it was like 10 years later she gets hit.
It's the same problem I had with when they did the Ellsworth thing. They waited so long that it just makes her look like a moron.
That was just pathetic. Here's the thing with Asuka. I don't know why they keep putting her on the mic. Let her English get better and then maybe put her on the mic. Or just let her talk, in her angry Japanese. That's cool too. Have her be the killer she knows, that we know she is. Silent, deadly, a force to be reckoned with. That's it. That's all we need. We don't need her to talk on the fucking mic. That's it. But that doesn't help. When they have her talking on the mic, it doesn't help the whole, she already kind of feels like an idiot because of the James Ellsworth thing and then this. Come on, man. And you know how fans are going to react. What?
Yeah, I know.
Come on. Have some sense here, folks.
What do you expect all this shit to happen if you're going to act like a dickhead?
Yes.
So, come on, man.
And look, and here's going back to this that I said I was going to bring up. Getting what you asked for. I have a sneaking suspicion that though the attempt to fix her product is genuine because the ratings were tanking, that they're doing a lot more with. It's obvious that they've been listening to people online because they're targeting those storylines, those characters, and making more of them as best they can in such a quick time. They're doing that. It's gonna take time for it to gel, but they're doing it. But also sometimes get the sneaking suspicion that they're kind of rubbing it in our face a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, oh, you wanted this? Here it is. How do you like that shit? So, we'll see. It's still too early to tell, man. The amount of dramatic changes they're making is pretty stunning this quick. It's still too early to tell. It's just this week was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird week.
Raw especially.
SmackDown was fine. It was a little odd. But Raw was terrible.
Yeah, it was
boring. Not even boring, just bland.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
No, you know what was boring though? Boring Corbin.
Yeah.
This needs to stop.
Dude. If you're getting rid of people, freaking get rid of Baron.
Yes, this storyline was dead from Arrival, and they're still going at it, man. Is this like an attempt to just bury Braun at this point? Because
I
fuck.
don't know.
Boring Corbin needs to go quick.
He sucks.
He is terrible. He's not interesting. It's not good heat.
It's not heel heat.
It's not heel heat.
This
It's
guy
just
freaking
this.
sucks.
Yes.
He's not a good wrestler. He's not a good freaking mic person. He's not a good heel. He sucks at everything.
In a land and business where the majority of the people can't act for shit,
he's the worst.
He is the worst. We can ignore the bad acting from other guys because it's immersive to a degree in other respects. The wrestling, the coolness of the storyline itself.
Yeah, like Ricochet's delivery kind of freaking stinks, but
he
he's so
stuns
good.
in other fields. Yeah. Boring Corbin doesn't stun in any field. It's just the only stunning thing about him is how boring he is.
Yeah.
He is the worst. I would rather have 10 hours of No Way Jose dancing uselessly.
Oh.
There's another guy they wasted. Than watching boring Corbin.
Yeah.
Dude, boring is the worst.
Better than
what happened to Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah, what the hell was the point of the freaking Elias turn if you're not going to do anything with it?
I'm glad that he's not there, but you can't also just bring storylines up and then abandon them and then, that much. Whatever. The point is, this was a weird week. It's hopefully just a bump in the road.
Mm.
But what we have learned is that Louisiana is not the place to be for crowds. And boring Corbin is still boring.
Yep.
Jeez, man. Fix that.
Stinker.
Anyway, tell us what you thought about this weird-ass week in wrestling. And what are your hopes? What are what's your take on all this, man? Hit like, share, subscribe, those notification buttons, because we're out.